Greetings, Bill Page with you again, continuing our series, Men of the Bible. And today I'm going to talk about Elijah. Elijah was a mighty prophet of God who God used to perform a minimum of 8 miracles. His name means Yahweh is my God. And in today's story, we're going to talk about, it's found in 1 Kings 18 and 19. And it's about a showdown that the prophet Elijah had with 450 prophets of Baal. Baal was a false god, a false religion that had been set up in Israel, and it was with the okay of King Ahab, who was the king of Israel at that time, and his wife Jezebel. Elijah also is known as a man of great prayer. And it's not so much that he was just a man that prayed, but he was a man of prayer. He was a man just like we should be, who continually sought out his God and called upon his name and was dependent upon him. His prayer life was so powerful through God that he prayed one time that it would not rain, and it did not rain for 3.5 years. And there would come a time that he went up and prayed again, and it rained. And so, with Elijah, he wanted to bring the children of Israel back to the true worship of the true God and eliminate this idolatry that was taking place in Israel at the time. And so he called for a showdown. And, here's what it would look like. He said, you guys get a bull. And you sacrifice that bull, and you call upon your God to destroy the bull by fire, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing. And whichever bull is destroyed, whichever one God seems to be listening to, that's who God will be. Okay, and so the false prophets, they got their bull together and they slaughtered it, and they were jumping around and chanting. And the Bible says they even cut themselves. They were cutting on themselves, and they were dancing and calling upon their God. And then even Elijah began to make fun of them a little bit and all of that. And so you could imagine the frenzy there. But nothing happened. And then it was Elijah's turn. Okay, and so here's what Elijah tells them to do. He says, put the bull in the middle and pour water all over the bull. Get water and pour it on the bull, and fill the trenches up with water, so that we can do this. And then he said, do it 2 more times. And so this thing is totally drenched. And then he simply prays. He prays a prayer, no jumping around, no screaming, just he called out to his God. And this is what happened. 1 Kings 18:36 says it this way. And at that time, for the evening sacrifice, the prophet Elijah went near the altar. Lord, you're the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. He prayed, prove that you are the God of Israel and that I am your servant. Show these people that you commanded me to do all these things. And then it goes on to say, Lord, answer my prayer so these people will know that you, Lord, are the God and that you will change their minds. And here's what the results were. Then fire from the Lord came down, and it burned the sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the ground around the altar. It also dried up all the water in the ditch. When all the people saw this, they fell down to the ground, and they cried out, the Lord is God. You know what I believe about God? He will always back himself up. I believe that he's always there for us. He can always intervene. He can always show himself strong. But sometimes he needs a vessel to work through, someone who's willing to take a stand, someone who's willing to come to the forefront, that regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the odds, they put their faith and trust in God. And God is for that man or that woman to be used mightily for his honor and glory. Because he dared to do this, God backed him up. God backed him up, and it caused a change in the hearts of the people where they turned from Baal worship. And ultimately, the 450 false prophets were put to death. And of course, the queen and her husband Ahab got a little mad. They wanted to kill him. And a lot of times when you've had a great spiritual victory, you can always expect something to go crazy afterward. But God also proves himself strong there. God is looking for a vessel. God is looking for someone who is willing to make a difference And to make a difference, there has to be a difference. And that difference is the God who lives within us, the God who has chosen us to send us in the world to do great and mighty exploits. Are you that man?